Alright, well, late screen to be starting the recording on. I forgot to hit it during the loading screen, but take two, because the setup was completely wrong. Here in Fuji, or at the Fuji Speedway in Japan, because if you don't know where Fuji is, that's kind of embarrassing for you. Because, like, how do you not know where that mountain is? It's like the second or third most famous mountain in the world behind Everest and Pompeii. Or Vesuvius, not... Wow, okay, me. Oh, but I don't know where Fuji is. It's disappointing. Yeah, as I forget the name of Vesuvius. Okay, me. Anywho. And we join Dexter at this course. He is unfamiliar with it. No one is familiar with it, but I am familiar with it. I drive this track all the time, in my spare time even. Also, Leon, that's an advertisement for a car company. There are no Leons in this game. So, why? Then again, well, it's kind of hard to see, but there's actually a Sonic billboard on the starting line of this track. So it's not the weirdest thing, but it also kind of is at the same time. So who else is here? Well, we have Tyler's car, but just not Tyler. We have Grease Lightning and Danny. And I do believe that's Samurai Jack, but I can't really see the number. If it's 23, it is. If it is anything else, it's not. But either way, we shall get started with the race. And I just take off on that poor Aston Martin. So shockingly enough, although being very minor in Universe Zero, Dexter has sort of taken the reins of searching for the other drivers. Not even just the Cartoon Network characters, but just the other drivers in general. Only with age, for him, came compassion, because he already had all the wisdom. I'm curious to see how Danny and Samurai Jack and Grease Lightning can, if at all, make their way through the field. Okay. Not the perfect breaking point I was looking for, but allowable. I made the corner and I did not crash the vehicle. That is most important. The track was admittedly a little more fun in the earlier days and earlier games that it appeared in, like Gran Turismo 4, for example. Because all those S's there are pretty recent additions to the track. For, you know, safety reasons, more or less. I'm really overestimating these brakes. I need to maybe cut that out before it ends up biting me in the behind. An example of this thing's outright traction, and also partially because of Dexter's genius setup on this car, totally wasn't me giving credit to the imaginary character that's allegedly driving this car. because storytelling. Most other cars in this game, I still use like 50% traction control rating, or low, as the game refers to it as. With this McLaren, I don't even need that. The Audi I use high. Partially might help that I know this track so well. Partially, but I don't really think that's a big part of it. I think it's just this car has so much traction. And also, it's moderately down on power, so its takeoff out of a turn is not as potent, but therefore also easier to manage. And so I can get away with doing such things. So one possible topic of discussion throughout this race, and one that I'll probably almost need to cover at some point during it. Plans with, at least storyline plans with Tyler, or the Duke of Bristol, as you saw in the Daytona race, where I played as Blossom and cheated my way to, well, unofficially second place, because the game was really confused. What is he in this storyline? I had basically two plans. He was basically a follower slash assistant to either myself, Burnout, the yellow Ferrari from the previous round, or Carbon slash the other main villain. I don't know why I'm hiding his name. He saw said name in the driver list, but Paradox. I know it isn't the most creative name, but as far as things related to time, it was that or Chronos, and that's even worse. Most other cars would have absolutely not gotten away with that. I feel like this thing should either, but this car is more or less the easy mode, almost, as far as like stable, reliable, not too many surprises, and good either for the indecisive driver or the one that just likes a stable vehicle. He doesn't really care about maximum performance. And that's also, well, actually no, that's not why Tyler chose it. He just chose it because he actually drove it at one point in his own racing league experience and enjoyed it during that time span. Awkward silence. Well, there's a fast lap right there. Half a second faster than my previous fastest. The exception of that Mercedes there, I'm kind of demolishing the opponent cars. I guess perfect example of, as you said, how much difference it makes with how much that I am familiar with a car and track. I'm actually not that familiar with this car, but I basically live on this track. Am I all that good at it? No, but I'm very consistent at it. I need to like constantly break myself out of the like in the zone driving type thing I always get into when I start driving for like 5-6 minutes in a row. Especially if I don't make very many errors during that time span. Because I do need to continue commentating, but I also really get into the driving. That's too late. No, it isn't. That curb is probably not good if I were hitting the gas on it. Okay, now I'm even starting to get away from that Mercedes that was leading the way. But I think it kind of depends on the events of races where he appears and actually commentates in. He actually didn't commentate in the last one. He was trying to, but his mic was not being picked up in the game audio because he didn't have the setting on that allowed that. So that's kind of awkward. He's fixed that now, and when he eventually appears again, which is not going to be too far into the future. I think it's planned in 4 or 5 more episodes. You should actually be audible at that point in time. I've run into that grass a handful of times. Normally I think that would actually eliminate most other cars, but this one does not give a single crap about it at all. Okay, that's like the first time this thing has given me any amount of, like, a spook about traction. But yeah, so events of other races he appears in later down the line will kind of determine whether he's a follower of me, or the Riker character, a follower of Paradox, or a follower of Burnout. I'm also wondering if I reveal the planned character traits of Paradox, Enduro, and Burnout now, or when those characters get brought up or played as. I'm never gonna play as never gonna play as Paradox. The problem with the latter is that I don't have plans to play as Enduro or Burnout in the very near future at all. Slowly crossing into nighttime here. This is a rare occurrence in this series, as this is the first time that a race has started not in the daylight. It started at 5 o'clock in the game, in the morning, which is why there was a nice sunrise. Unfortunately, we didn't get a very great shot of Mount Fuji on screen during that period, but possibly when night comes, get a nice shot of it from here. Kind of a nice one here, even. It would probably be from that corner where you would get the best shot of Fuji. Fun fact, on PlayStation, my background image for my profile is actually a picture of one of the other cars that's not even used in this series. It should be, I feel like. Seeing as it does have Hot Wheels product placement on it, but it never crossed my mind when I was choosing characters. It's another Acura, so it easily could have been my car. It just kind of wasn't. But yeah, it's a picture of, like, ooh. Kind of missed that chance, actually. Probably should have been no HUD sooner than that. Also, the amount of fire this thing spits when it shifts upwards. I don't really think it does it too much when downshifting, but up, this thing can basically become a flamethrower. That's basically what I'm doing too. I'm getting like a photo album going here. we're using like the PlayStation screenshot feature. I'm going no HUD and screen capping like really good looking moments, and at the end of the series, when that eventually comes, I'll just put like a video kind of similar to the driver list of okay car, here comes that Mercedes, I made one mistake. Yeah, like a video similar to the driver list of like all of the really nice pictures that were taken throughout the series. As great as it would be if this were an actual, like, normal character, it's not, so I really don't care if you're trying to fight me over this. Should have like 3 laps to go from here, so it'll end in the middle of the night. But I do believe that is Samurai Jack. And so if, with that said, Dexter has already accomplished part of his goal, or half of it. And of course his operative objective is just find the Cartoon Network characters, but even after he does, he'll just use all of them united to help find the other remaining drivers that are still missing when that point hits. And believe me, there will be drivers that are not yet united with the group when that happens. Dexter only has to find, I want to say, 7. Yeah, 7, 8 if you count Mojo Jojo, which I don't know if he necessarily is looking for him. But yeah, otherwise 7 Cartoon Network characters to find. 3 of which are already looking the world over to find each other, and they can look a lot faster. So if Dexter finds one, depending on how long he takes, you'll find 2 more along with them. Most likely. Does Mercedes get off with my diffuser? He isn't that close, but I don't think he needs to be close at all. He doesn't deserve to be close. I think most likely occupation for Tyler being a follower of mine. I don't think I'll go the carbon route. If anything, I'll probably actually go... Actually, know what I'll do. I know what I'm gonna do with him. I'm not gonna say it now that I've actually decided in my head, but I know where he's gonna go. Or what he's going to do, more specifically. Lap times are falling off as night is upon us, so the tires aren't getting quite as much grip. I do believe is how that works. As you can tell, the car... There's not even a Mercedes behind me. What is that? It looks like the Aston Martin. I can tell you right now, regardless of what car I'm in, if I were to have ever hit the inside curb of this turn, it would be immediate death. Or apparently that grass, but yeah, this car isn't four-wheel drive. It still is thrown off by hitting the lawn. Everything has a limit, Riker. Not even most importantly, but relatively speaking, Dexter has found great success here at the base of Fuji. He has won the race, found one of his former allies, or not former, one of his allies in most likely Samurai Jack. I just was like, look at the replay and see the car. So I'm going to see that. I'm going to do that now. That was the Mercedes. Third is this Aston Martin. Fourth, another Aston Martin. Who is this? That is Samurai Jack. So indeed, Dexter has found Samurai Jack. He's done pretty well. I think he started like 8th and he came up to 5th. Of course, Samurai Jack is in his home turf here in Japan, so it makes some sense. But we don't really get much developed. Tyler did not do so. I think that's Tyler. No, it's not actually. Very foreboding number there. At first I thought that was Blossom, and then I noticed the red was too dark. Yeah, no, that is not Blossom at all. Also, this is great. Time, or 0.8% speed. Yeah, and Danny, nothing remarkable from him, but that's to be expected. So yes, that is indeed the end of the race. And yeah, Dexter won resoundingly, well, not resoundingly. Mercedes was still very much there because he had a couple of small mistakes, but wins. Met Samurai Jack, encountered Grease Lightning and Danny. Grease Lightning also didn't do much better than where he started either, by the looks of things. Yeah, no, he must have had a problem somewhere. I'm kind of curious what was going on with Grease Lightning. Maybe he crashed or something. Oh yeah, so Samurai Jack started in 9th and worked his way up to 5th in the race. Oh, that's also that. What does this do? Oh, save it! Oh, I didn't want to do that. Also, you have fun listening to this absolutely terrible noise of Lamborghini running 5 times fast speed. Ah. So he just kind of started here. What? Okay, don't have the start at times faster speed. There, that is a little more correct. So he started in 11th and lost 3 positions throughout the race. Well, that would be it. Everyone just outbroke him like crazy. Also, the replay does continue in the background now, which is kind of cool. There's probably a way I could actually set up thumbnails too, because the thumbnail is just whatever it is at the end of the video. So if I just pause on a really nice shot, that's not my car. Thank you. And go back in time to this turn right in front of Fuji. I didn't want to take that screenshot though. And so yeah, that is this episode of Time Loop. Dexter wins, finds one of his allies, and Danny and Grease Lightning had very bad goes of it here. But it's weird that Danny and those drivers keep separating. Danny encountered Gearhead in XT3. He should have noticed them, or them have noticed him. No, he didn't notice XT3. He found Gearhead and Alex. What am I talking about? Yeah, so he should have Gearhead should have recognized him, or he should have recognized Gearhead, and they should be together. But no, I guess they're just going solo. That or Gearhead just decided not to race, which would be kind of surprising because it's Gearhead. He doesn't really do much else besides drive. But anyway, until the next time, where I think there will be a bit of a change of pace, if you will. To kind of, it'll be the first of many kind of differences in expression in this series. But I'm not gonna give away too much because that would ruin the surprise, even though it's the literal next video, and that might not even be recorded that far in the future. So it might even be up already by the time you've seen this.